as I was saying, um, make sure this is our disclaimer. Please make sure to understand it, read it, and go from there. Because obviously this is trading. It is risky. Um, so this is something that you should understand and be okay with if you are in this channel. Today we'll be trading crypto and forex. So we'll be looking at basically all pairs. I'm gonna just do a quick analysis on basically how I analyze these things, how I what I look for, what I need to see in order to go into a trade. And then after that, we're just gonna basically go through both crypto and forex pairs. If you have any requests of a pair or a trade that you want to look at or a different type of crypto, please feel free to type it in the chat. I would be more than glad to go over that with you. Here we are. We'll be looking at the charts here. Let me just load my proper layout for trading here. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the majors on the pairs here. Sorry about that. So let's start with the Euro USD. What is it that we need to see? What is it that we want to see? What is it that you see here that you don't typically see on a different chart? Well, I'll get started with just a couple of the things here. So the first things that you see that you may not be so familiar with are these flying saucers here, right? The green ones and the red ones. Okay, those represent, those are what we call our UFOs, our unfilled orders. That is our patented and proprietary technology that we utilize that basically gives us those potential entry and exit points where, according to the software, there may be some underlying unfilled orders that have a high probability of either, turning price around or, bouncing off of the price just as a target. So, for example, let's say in this scenario, in this situation, we were looking to, short the euro dollar. This is the 21-minute time frame, and these time frames we have refined and we have back tested quite a bit, and have found that they to basically match them up nicely. We usually use the 8-minute with the hourly time frame, the 21-minute with the 4-hour time frame, and the 55-minute with the daily time frame. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to first be answering the main questions when it comes to trading. Is first question is, should I be trading this particular instrument, this chart, this whatever it is, stock, forex pair, futures contract, cryptocurrency? Should we be trading that? So that's why we utilize certain software to already answer that for us, rather than trying to take the guesswork out of trading, essentially. Um, and the way we do that is by really just using two indicators that are packed with a bunch of other stuff in them, but what you see are just two indicators, which is this one down below here, the auto climate, all right, which this one is free for trading view. So if you are interested, please let me know. We'll be able to get a link sent out to you so you can activate it on TradingView, or we do have it for TradeStation, TradingView, MT5, and our own very own platform, Top. Um, but as of right now, what we need to see, we need an answer on this question is, should we be trading? And the answer in this particular scenario is yes, we should be looking for short opportunities, because as you see down here, right, we have a thick red dot. A thick red dot means that this is a confirmed climate. Okay, a thin one of any color, as you see in here, right, that just means sit on your hands. Don't trade right now. And that's okay. Not trading is okay. Not forcing trades is definitely, preferred over forcing trades, right? So in this scenario, we're looking at, the Euro CAD, I'm sorry, the Euro dollar on the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is telling us, hey, on the 4-hour, you have an edge to the downside. Look for trades to the downside. Okay, wonderful. So we know what we answered two questions actually right off the bat. Should we be looking for trades? Yes or no? In this scenario, yes. We should be looking for trades. towards which direction should we be looking trades for, right? It's easy to say, oh yeah, go for it, look for trades. Well, where, which direction? We're looking for short trades, right? We're looking for trades that are going to be to the downside. We're looking for price to keep going down. Wonderful. That's two questions answered. Now the third one, where do we enter? Which, of course, with it comes the fact of where do we exit and where do we exit if we're wrong, right? So meaning, where's our entry, where's our stop, and where's our target or targets, right? So those are the questions that, you always need to ask yourself before you even look at trading, right? If you don't know the answer to those questions, um, as if you knew, your own birthday, right? You should definitely go back to the drawing board and just figure out some more information and try to understand and try to, analyze what it is that you want to do. All right. So that being said, right, we said we are looking for short opportunities right here because we have a confirmed climate. We are, on the 4 hours. So the coinciding chart, that would be the 21 minute here. So now where do we enter? Well, we enter together with these, in confluence with both of these charts by taking this 9 exponential moving average, this blue line that you see here, which is shown with the value here, 1.15468, right? And we look for confluence with this other, smaller time frame, right? Obviously, this is 4 hour. This is 21 minute. We're looking for confluence of a UFO, our unfilled orders, our software that gives you these imbalances in buyers and sellers and potential unfilled orders. And we need to see this 9 EMA be enveloped by this UFO. All right, so currently the moving average is at 15468, right? So 15468 is around here somewhere, right? 15468 is about here, right? So that means the price was, perhaps something like this, right? As it was traveling, right? Because it's a moving average. It moves with price. So now the question is this, how do we know that this is going to be, a proper trade? How do we know that this exact setup here will work? Well, number one, we look at probabilities and probabilities are in our favor that this would work. The other thing is as price travels up, let's say price retracts all the way up to this 155.93. As price travels up, what happens to the moving average? Well, the moving average goes up as well, right? So with this moving average going up 50.47, right? Do we see this moving average being somewhere in this UFO around this 15, 59? I would say, probably, just because it's so close, it may not quite make it. It may actually be just before the UFO. However, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to say, at least right now, yes, we anticipate that this moving average is going to move up with price and is going to be somewhere within this UFO. Okay, is everybody with me so far? Can you just give me a little bit of feedback in the chat? We're understanding. No, this is a little too crazy or something in between. Let me know in the chat, in the QA box, anywhere you want to type it, just so I know we're looking good. All right, understood. All good. Came a bit late. No worries. Yes, I mean it's you're gonna see a wolf. You're gonna see the concept of how it really works as I start, going through any of these instruments. But essentially speaking, the way we, yeah, the way we, the way we anticipate price to move, the way we anticipate things to happen, is gonna be pretty much the same throughout these instruments. We're just gonna be cycling through them to see if we can get some sort of, like I said, confluence between this 9 EMA with the auto climate and the auto UFOs basically stacking as many of those odds in our favor. So now, this, as I said, this, we're just taking this as a hypothetical example. Obviously, price is currently touching the moving average, right? So price is already at, 1548, moving average at 1547. So price is already above that 9 EMA. So unless, price collapses from here and leaves us a new UFO, this will be an invalid trade. Okay? The reason why I was saying we're just going to take it hypothetically that it's going to be up here is just so I can, show you what the proper trade setup would look like. Okay, so, just as I said, for sake of argument, we can say that this moving average, which is currently being touched at 1547, 1547.7 exactly on the money, actually, we're going to assume that it's inside this UFO. Just so I can demonstrate the process, just so I can demonstrate the setup and how it would work, right? So we're not saying that this is here. We're saying that, the moving average is, somewhere within this UFO. Does not matter where, right? It could be here. It could be in the middle of it. It could be at the top of it. It's fine. As long as when price touches that UFO, that moving average is within, we're good. Okay? So what is our next step? Obviously, so we know what we're looking for, right? Auto climate says you're good to go for a short. Moving average says there's a UFO. There's unfilled orders at the moving average. Good. All right, so what's our entry? What's our stop? What's our target? Well, we utilize basically the same technology that we've been talking about until now to get in. So we go ahead and set up our trade. Right, we're gonna go in short right here, and you see this is the beautiful thing that I like about TradingView is you can customize it to give you these exact price lines. So if you want to be extremely exact, you can use those. I typically just kind of round it up or round it down. So let's say for the sake of argument here, we're going to be getting in it at 15, 15.59.2, right? So this is where we the current indicator is giving us the price. What we're actually going to do is we're actually going to round it down, right? Because obviously there's always a bit of a spread here, right? You're seeing this 1.4. So that's the spread between the bid and the ask. I definitely don't want, because it has happened to me so many times, right? Price touches inside the UFO, it doesn't fill me because of the spread, and then collapses, and I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking, what the heck happened? You know? Well, what the heck happened is that bid and ask spread, you didn't get filled. So to make sure I get filled, I'm actually going to, round it down because I'm going short. If I was going long, I would round this up. Okay, so 1559 is the entry point, 1559. All right, so what's our take profits? What's our stop losses? Well, we're going to go ahead and get that set up as well. Let's say we're risking, 150 bucks for the first leg of the trade, because I typically trade it with 2 legs. Our stop loss is actually going to be, it's already given to us here, 1565.2. So let's go ahead and write that down too here. 1.1565.2. All right, now as we said, we have a trade difference between the bid and the ask. So we're going to round this up as well. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right with you. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. No, I had my mic turned off because I wasn't here, and then I just forgot to turn it back on. Had my my little son, who's about to be 3, just wander into my office just now. So, all right, we're back though. We're ready to go. So as I said, we're setting up the trade. All right, so the M240 bears obviously would like to see a low at least once more. Okay, I got you. I got you, Wolf. We can take a look at it a little bit further when we go to the 4-hour chart as well, because the 240, I don't really. Let's see here. All right, where do we stop? Or where do we leave off? Sorry about that. Lost my train of thought. 1565.2 is our stop. Right. So what I typically do is, take this 50, 60, 65, right? You definitely want to round this up. Now, this is up to you. You can give it, 3 pips, 5 pips, whatever you want to do. I typically just give it, another 5. So then we're going to just go ahead and be at 1570 for the stop, 11 pip stop, right? Nothing too crazy there. 11 pip take profit. That's our T1. Okay. And the reason why I like that T1 to be 1-to-1 is because once you take half the position off, your risk off, right? Once half of it hits and gets your profit, that means that you're good to go. Even if this trade stops you out, you're not going to lose money. You're not going to make money, but you're not going to lose money. Now, the second leg, right? The second leg of the trade, we're going to utilize um, the 4-hour chart again, and we're going to utilize the auto UFOs on this chart, which is obviously a bigger chart, right? The 4-hour versus the 21 minutes, it's quite larger. Now, in this scenario, I'm actually not seeing any opposing UFOs down below. And when I say opposing UFOs, I really mean, we're going in short, right? We're going in with the red UFOs. An opposing UFO would be a green UFO, right? I'm not seeing any green UFOs down below here. So what I'm going to do is for the second leg of my trade, I'm going to get in at the same place, right? 59. All right, we're going to do the same stop loss, right, at 11. But for the take profit, I'm just going to put something like, 100 pips away just so I can have it there. But I'm not actually going to take a profit there. I'm actually going to write this down as best as I can. Now, what does that mean? All right, what does writing it down as best as you can? That's as subjective as you can get, right? Well, you can say, well, it's a trail stop. Well, exactly how do we trail stop? See, that's the one thing I like about this trading strategy, and that I really hated about other trading strategies, especially when I was getting started, is when somebody would say something as ambiguous as that, and then you don't know what the heck they mean. Well, if it's not clearly defined, then it's not really, proper in my mind, right? So in this scenario, we do have it clearly defined, and I just realized that I made a mistake here. This would have been, this should be like another 136,000, but I didn't change the profit. Again, this is just hypothetical. We're not actually going to take this trade. I mean, if you guys want to go for it, go for it. But I myself personally will not be taking this trade. Okay. So I'm just going to cancel that, and I'm going to cancel that. So what does trail stopping your trade mean? How do we do it with this software? Okay. Well, right now, as we said, and I'm just gonna draw this out nicely. So it's we're taking a short position here, right? Our stop was around here somewhere. I think it was 15. It was 1570, right? And this should be same here, something like that. And our entry price was at 1559, right? We rounded it down. Exactly. All right. So that was our target. That was our setup, right? As soon as something like this happens, right? This price is rallying pretty nicely. I'm almost, I almost feel bad that this moving average isn't in this UFO. We could have taken this trade right off the bat, right? As soon as price, rallies in there, we're expecting, a price, a push down at least to our T1, right? Probabilities are that it'll come to our T1. Okay, we take our T1, we're half off, we're risk off. Okay, so we've done that. Oh, let me just disable the labels for this. I have it set to default. Okay, what we, then what would happen is maybe something like this, maybe another retest of that area, because obviously, not all trades that we take are just gonna just drop down. Like, that'd be wonderful to say that, okay, guys, every trade we take, this is what it's gonna do when we go short. That'd be a lie. Okay, perhaps another retest of this, area down here, right? Then we're gonna see another maybe push up. As long as we don't break this high up here, that would be great. But what could happen at this drop here, I'm just gonna take this off because it's confusing. What could happen actually right here in this exact location is we could get, because again, this is, this software that we use is very sensitive to how price moves, right? It's not one of those things. What you see now is what's gonna be, in 15, 20 minutes, you know. So what could happen in this exact location here is we could actually get another UFO to form right here. Okay, we could get another UFO to form here. Well, since we took our stop, I'm sorry, since we took our target right there, right, that was our T1, and a new UFO forms here because there's still some unfilled orders that are going down on the way down. There's still some unfilled orders that didn't get filled. Well, guess what? I can take that stop that was up here, right? I have permission to do so. Not I can take it because I feel like it. Not I can take it because I don't want to give up so much money. It's because I have permission to go ahead and take this stop and put it right above that newly formed UFO. So right there you have an objective, a very clear cut and non-confusing way of how to trail stop this, right? Let's say, we get another push down over here, right? A new UFO forms right there. Oh, okay, copy the line too. A new UFO forms there. You move it down there as well. All right. This isn't a perfect world, right? It could easily, easily this could happen, right? You move your stop, this stops you out and then proceeds down. Well, that's fine. That's trading. You're never gonna always catch the proper trail stop. You're gonna get stopped out early sometimes, right? And that's okay. All right, so just let me know if you guys follow along. Just please let me know because I don't want to start going into trades because once I start going into trades, you're gonna see like charts flying left, right, up, and down. Okay, so just let me know in the chat how are we looking, and we'll go from there. I know there's probably a little bit of a delay, so I'm just gonna wait for you guys to let me know what you're thinking. What's your thought? If you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything else that you would like to okay, just watching, taking it in, understood. I know, as I said, I know that there's a bit of a delay between because I'm sure we got folks from all around the world. And now we'll be getting started. Any requests, any markets or pairs or anything you want us to look at? All right. Okay, so a couple of questions in the chat here that I got. So Wolf, when you use a 2 candle stop loss trailer and even a 1 candle after the first of 3 TGs are triggered, yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, Wolf. For the sake of this presentation and for the sake of this trading plan, right? Because think of it this way, guys. I'm presenting one trade plan here. I'm presenting one strategy here, how I execute it, how I trade it. That doesn't mean that that's the only plan or arsenal that I got in my book, right? And that should be the same for you guys. And at times, sometimes some of those trade plans may actually go against each other, right? Sometimes what you have in one plan, let's say it's a fib retracement, kind of like what Nikolai alluded to here. If it's a fib entry, right? If you're seeing a 50% retracement into a UFO, you're like, damn, this is looking pretty good. It's a 50% retracement, or a 27, was it 32.7 or 27.7, whichever one the numbers were. I honestly haven't traded that in a long time, into a UFO. You're like, this is looking great. And then you see it work right in front of your eyes. You're like, what the heck? It should have taken that trade. Well, instead of saying that, I would say do something that is really easy to do on TradingView. And it's really easy to do because you have the replay function, right? You could say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm seeing this, this massive rally here. Okay. Is there anything that could have told me, look at this, this is falling off a cliff. This looks like there's no bottom, right? And this is, 12th of October, 1257. If I go back, here on this one, 1257, so that would be somewhere around here at 9, right? Is there something here telling me on this massive drop that I could have taken with that 50% retracement, the auto UFO, and maybe something else in your favor, maybe MACD, maybe RSI is in your favor, right? This can all be combined together, but my main goal that I want to tell you is that you shouldn't just think of it that way. You should backtest it. I know it's a lot of work. I know it's tedious, but at the same time, you're kidding yourself if you think you're just always going to find, trades that are just going to work out like that. And then you're going to try to change your plan on the fly, and then you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get at is, please don't do stuff like that. Do it the harder way. That's going to pay off a lot better for you instead of, wasting your hard-earned money. Because believe me, coming from a guy who's blown up an account or two or three, okay, trying to learn with live money, because obviously it feels a little better when you make some money with your live money. You're like, whoa, look at this. It hurts doubly as much when you lose money and it's your hard-earned money. And instead, you had the opportunity, you had the chance, you had the software, and you have to find the time to be able to backtest what you're trying to do. So if you want to, backtest, like I said, a fib entry with an auto UFO, with the climate in the right way type of thing, go for it. But don't just, see it happen in front of you and just take it on the go. That's really going to get you in a lot of trouble right now. All right, so just a quick example here of the back testing, right? 13th of October at 1 a.m. in the morning. I would be dead asleep by now because I'm in Pacific time. So, the market is definitely moving nonstop, at least Monday through late Friday, and then starting on Sunday again. But, just wanted to see, hey, okay, so on the 13th of October at 1 a.m., it gave us an opportunity the climate went from short to long, right? It became unconfirmed, and then it became confirmed to the upside. We saw that happen right in front of us here. All right, so let's just go and scroll forward and see if there's any chance we could have gotten on that massive rally. Okay, so this is what time? This is already 8 o'clock. Rally is already happening. Okay, not much to see there. All right, so as I said, rally's already, look at that. You get your confirmation at the end of this 4-hour chart, which ends at 1 a.m., which is, just right here, basically. So this rally you would have missed out on. Okay, and that's okay. You're not going to catch all of them. Believe me, I've gotten plenty of times where I'm like, ticks away from getting filled, only to see it, rally, 100 pips away from me. It happens. That's life. That's how it goes. Okay, so just wanted to show you that there's a very easy way to backtest all this stuff. Okay, so that's that. That's our trade plan. That's our execution. Now what we're gonna do is, since you guys didn't really type any pairs that you want me to look at or any crypto that you want me to look at, and mainly because I want to see how crypto is doing because I haven't really opened it too much today. I want to see what kind of movement we got in the market. As from what I'm seeing, a lot of red across the board. Um, Let me just see here. A lot of red across the board. SFB, I don't know this one. So we do have a couple of them that are positive, above 5%. Okay, so we got a primarily red day starting off on the crypto uh, realm here. ETH is down 1%. XRP is down 1%. And Bitcoin is down 1.5%. So let's go ahead and start with the big head honcho here. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. Same thing, right? We're going to look at it and see what's happening here. And just to kind of keep it much more streamlined, Nikolai, I see a question. I'll get back to you on that if that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead because I'm going to start from the smallest time frame, which is the 8-minute on the left and the 1 hour on the right. Similar scenario, right? We are looking for a confirmation. It is confirmed. It's a confirmed down climate. Current price is at 55,084. Moving average at 55,148. At 55,148, we do not have any UFOs. Therefore, what do? We're done. Analysis done. How quick was that? It took me all of 30 seconds to analyze a chart and realize if I have a trade or not. Okay, not even 30 seconds. Me, I'm so used to this that within seconds, I just already know to shift gears and look for the 21-minute and the 4-hour. All right, so the 4-hour current moving average is at 55,714. Right? We have a UFO at 56,200. Current price being at 55,125. If price jolts up, what happens to the moving average? Right? It moves with it. Could they potentially join in this UFO here? Absolutely. So what do we got here? We have a trade, right? So what do? We go ahead and set it up. Same as before, only this one, obviously the spread is, as you see, minuscule here. It really depends on the broker you use, honestly. This is paper trading on TradingView, right? So we're looking to get in with this small spread here. We can just go ahead and type it in exactly the way it is. So 56,225. Take profit, stop loss. Stop loss is going to be above again, 56, 364, 32. Just to keep it simple, I'm just going to put this at 65, right? Just to keep it simple. And I typically like to add another, $50 on top of it, really, to the stop, especially when it comes to crypto. This is up to you, right? This is what I would do, but ultimately it's what you want to do that you want to do there. So 56,365 being the current price. So when you add another $50, this becomes 41. All right. So we're risking $190 here, which is okay. That to be our stop. Now, where's our target one? Well, it's the same thing. You just go ahead and put it in here, $190. All right. So you can go ahead and sell one right there. So that's our, obviously stop loss T1. Great. Where's our final target? Our final target is actually down here at 51,888. Sorry. So 51,888. The beginning of the opposing UFO on this larger time frame, the 4-hour time frame. So what do? Same thing we did before. We're going to go ahead and sell. We're selling the 56,225. Stop loss remains the same. We're gonna, oops, I know why that happened. 56 to 25. I'm just so used to hitting tab on everything. If you hit tab, and this is something that I recently discovered. If you hit tab after you type the absolute price, it's gonna switch to the tick price, so it's gonna still keep adjusting based on your bid plus the spread. So don't do tab. Just type it in exactly. Okay. I don't know what the heck happened here. So we're going to go ahead and put the final price down here at 51,888 and our stop at 56,415. All right, and there it is. So realistically speaking, if this were to really, go like that, you would be risking, 2 times 190, which is 380. To make 190 plus, $4,000. All right, that may seem like, obscenely high number. Is there a probability that that's going to happen? Yes, that's why we're taking this trade. However, as soon as that T1 hits, you go into trade management mode. So you have to trail stop, trail stop, trail stop. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and that's going to be the trade of the week, trade of the month, trade of the year, right? That's why we take these trades. But most of the time, what's going to happen is, let's say price hits you. All right, I'm just going to make this blue again. Price hits you, goes down to your T1, test that again, goes down again, right? Really nice drop. Okay, great. New UFO has formed, right? So a new UFO would be formed right here, let's say. You grab your stop. You say, all right, wonderful. That's great. I'm now definitely in profit. You move your stop below, but then, this could happen. And that's it. That trade's over, right? So just be aware of the fact, just because we're putting a target, well, all the way down here, doesn't mean it's going to hit it. Doesn't mean it won't. I'm just telling you that when it does, you'll be doing your little happy dance. I know I will be. Okay. So that's that. That's that setup on Bitcoin on the 21 minute with the 4-hour chart. Okay. So it's the same exact setup. It's the same exact analysis that when you see it in your computer, I'm going to see it on my computer, right? Or tablet or phone, whatever it is. It's all good. Okay, so that's that. Now, I just want to get to Nikolai's question here. So trend line uptrend on the Dixie. Yep, the Dixie's been kind of ripping it to the upside. Trend line in the Euro USD, right? Typically, they are in opposite directions. They are inversely correlated. Um, as far as them touching trend lines, I've found trend lines, I put them on, I honestly, I see them in charts, but I've not used them myself, mainly because I find them to be, subjective to whoever is drawing them, however they're drawing them, right? I try to put together some rules where it's like, okay, 1 or 2 or 3 touches and then that trend line becomes strong, or like, no touches means it's, it may be an overshot trend line, maybe it needs to be tightened and so on. It just became so subjective and I wasted so much time with trend lines that I see them and I know other people see them too, but I don't trade them, right? Trend lines are great, especially if you want to do breakout trades, right? That's, in my opinion, that's what trend lines are the best for. I simply just don't trade them. If both instruments, like you're saying, both the Dixie and the Euro dollar are, both hitting their trend lines at the same time, there's a very good chance that that's exactly what could happen, is they could touch and reverse, or they could touch and do a fake out and then, fake you out on both sides and then just continue on in their respective directions, the Dixie up and the Euro dollar down, right? That's all very, very possible. All right, guys, before I let you go, because I can't believe that it's already 6:45. My God. This is my email here, boyan@tradictive.com. And the website that, you should all really go to and check it out is tradewithufos.com/Boyan. You can sign up for a free membership and you'll get notifications every time we go live. And as I said, the auto climate is free, so you could get that and implement it in your trading plan. If you don't have a trading plan and you want to, get help with one, we do offer that as a course, and it'll give you a 3-month complimentary access to auto UFOs and auto climate. Okay, so that in itself, I think is worth it quite a bit. So check it out and let me know what you think. Before we go, I do want to find at least one more trade. Come on, let's see if we're going to be able to get, wow, look at that move. That's nice. I already know I'm not going to find the trade. It's in the middle of this. It's a confirmed down climate with EMA already being traded above. So skipping that, I'm just going to check out the 55-minute with the daily to see if that gives us anything. Same scenario. NZD's popping. All right. British pound dollar. Second down, already trading above. Moving on. 4-hour unconfirmed, 1-hour unconfirmed. Boom. How quick is that? Okay, hold on. May have something here. We just don't have a UFO. Look at that. 24.52 is the moving average. Price is right there, right on it. Bouncing off of an hourly UFO right there on the dollar CAD. However, we need a UFO here. What I would like to see and what could really, potentially happen here is as soon as this candle closes, that we get a UFO that's basically like this, which means as soon as you see that happen, you just go in and mark it and trade it up. But as of right now, we just don't have the time to wait for this to happen. So, be on the lookout, and it could. That was on the 8-minute. Let's check out the 4-hour unconfirmed daily confirmed down. Okay. Daily is a confirmed down. Whoa, no UFOs in sight. Holy cow. All the way up there. Where's the well, that's why. Look at that. 25,300 is where the moving average is. Dollar CAD really tanking here. Holy cow. Okay, so as you see, moving average being at 25,303, the nearest UFO we have is at 25,700. So that's just not going to happen anytime soon. Let's go ahead and move on. Confirmed up climate on the dollar franc, already trading below the moving average. Nothing to do there. Confirmed down. Okay, here we go on the 4-hour. Let's take a look at it in 21-minute. See how we're looking. Okay, lots of UFOs. That's good. And we're looking at 92,877 being the moving average. 92,877, and current price is at 92,700. So if this were to move up, do we see a UFO enveloping that EMA? So 92, around this 93 actually. Yes, we do. And I like it because it's two UFOs and also like a bit of a trap here, because you see this, everybody's going to see this massive drop here and think, okay, this is it, let's go in. But what I would say is what I think the bigger firms typically see is this is a trap, this is a trap. This is the potential point where you need to get in. A lot of people are going to get stopped out here because they're going to try to get in on this, massive drop down. But, the bigger boys typically will just push it up just to get those stop outs, just to get price where they want it, and then get in only to see it go down. So what I would say, this right here, and it's such a round number too, right? 93,000, 0.93 rather on the dollar franc. So this entry here, 93.04, is actually a solid entry. Let me go ahead and put that in, 93.04. Take profit. Now we have overlapping UFOs, right? Overlapping UFOs. What do? We use the top one, right? Let me just get rid of this line. So as you see, we have a UFO here with the ruby red, and we have a UFO here with the darker red, right? With the almost plum red. So what we do is if I put my stop above this ruby red UFO, if I put my stop here, right, I'm in this UFO, meaning my odds are against me, right? Because there's still unfilled orders here. I'm not letting enough, I'm not giving enough room to this trade. So what I got to do is I got to take this stop and put it above this UFO as well. I got to make sure that my stop is in the white space above when I'm going short or in the white space below when I'm going long. So let's set it up. As I said, 93.04 is our entry, risking 150 bucks. We're going to be putting the price at 0.93132. That's the top of this UFO. We're gonna round this up at 4, add another 5 pips, so 93.19. Okay, so we're risking 25 pips, 25 pips on the way down. Boom. Okay, oh, well, when I added 5 pips, it actually went into this UFO too. I thought it was going to be right below it. Okay, so we're going to have to edit that. I honestly wasn't even paying attention to this. I was so laser focused on that. All right, so when we add those 5 pips down up, we're obviously in this UFO too. So we're going to go ahead and have to adjust this trade too. We're going to have to change it to be above this UFO, and we have nothing above, so we're good. So that's going to be a bit more risk, but that's the beauty about Forex, honestly. You know, you can go in with a smaller position and nope, not that. 0.9304. Take profit, stop loss, risking 150 bucks. Our stop is actually going to be at 0.93378, rounded up to 8 plus 5 is 13, so 43. Oh, something's not right here. What am I doing wrong? Why would price be at 106? What the hell? 0.93378. Okay, we round it up to 8 plus 5 pips, right, is 43. Okay, risking 150 bucks. There we go, 39 pips. That makes much more sense now. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so 150 bucks. We're gonna go with, it was basically, this is 0.35 lots if you're utilizing, you know, MT4 or any one of those. So that's looking much better. Now, where is our final target? Our final target is all the way down here at 92.056. Right? So we got room for this trade to move. That's great. That's what we want to see. If we see less than a 1-to-1, we don't go into this trade. All right, 0.9304 is our entry. Take profit, stop loss stays the same at 39 pips. Our take profit is going to be at 0.92056, rounded up to 06. All right. Sell that, done. I messed it up, of course, because I didn't change the lot size. 93.04. Sometimes you rushed it to make something work, and then ultimately it ends up going against you. There it is. That's the setup. Okay. And that's really that. Now, guys, you know, I do want to, I keep saying this. If you have any questions, any comments, anything, you know, a couple of you have been very active, and I appreciate that very, very much so. You know, I really do. It's something that I like to see, because ultimately, if you don't ask questions, you're really not going to learn, right? If something's confusing about what I'm showing, then there's a good chance that when you're doing it on your own or you're testing it on your own, it's going to be even more so. Okay, so and that's something that really comes to mind when I was learning to trade, right? I was the type of guy that would just annoy the crap out of whoever was showing anything, because I wanted to make sure that I understood 100%, not 99, not 85, right? 100% of what's being shown there. And if there's any gray area in any of the trading, in any of what's being shown, you should ask. because that's what you're here for, right? I'm here because I've dedicated my time to be here, and you've dedicated your time too, and your time is valuable as well, right? So you should be asking the questions if something's in the gray area. When you're trading, there should be nothing that's in the gray area. You know, when we're trying to kind of guess that the moving average is going to hit a UFO, okay, that's a little bit of guesswork, but you can kind of anticipate based on, you looking at the charts. But everything else should be black and white. It's either yes or a no. It's either a go or a stop. There should be no, well, maybe I'll get into this if, it's raining outside. Think of it that way. Rely on the weather for your trade. See how that works out for you. Okay? Um, so it's really one of those things where trading really needs to be clear cut. It needs to be so precise that there are no gray areas. There's no unanswered questions, right? I know the outcome of this trade like the back of my hand, right? You can wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, what do you do when the EMA is overlapping in a UFO in the correct climate? I'm like, I go in. Okay. What do you do if a UFO is overlapping an EMA in an unconfirmed climate? I sit on my hands. Right? So you should know your trade plans, you know, I would say like the back of your hand. That's the easiest comparison I can think of right now. And that should be 100% the way you trade. Okay. If there's any other requests, I think we got another 5 minutes. Or I forget if these sessions are 45 minutes or an hour. I typically just push it to an hour just because I love trading. I don't know if you can tell from my voice. I don't know if you can tell from my excitement. Don't get me wrong. I have hated trading at times because you do so much work, you dedicated so much time, and then ultimately it all blows up in your face. And then, it takes you about, a couple of weeks or maybe a month to kind of gather yourself. Like, holy cow, if I didn't do this, and this wouldn't have happened. And then you're like, really, it was my fault that it did. So I really self-sabotaged. So, yeah. Frank, on the 21 minute, the 21 minute is kind of that in between intraday and swing, right? I am looking to see a nice move from it. If a trade starts off on the 21 minute and then it's going so well to the point where you do hold it right after it hits your T1, it's going so well, it could very well turn into a swing trade. The 21 minute though is like I said, it's kind of that in between. I would like to close it before the day's end, but I'm not afraid to let it run and keep it overnight should it be going my way, um, you know, as the trade goes, as the days go on, right? Matter of fact, I've swung a trade from the 8 minute. Okay, but that was a one-off, right? Typically the ones that I take on the 8 minute and the hourly, they're usually resolved within, the inside of half an hour or an hour. But there has been a trade that it went so good my way that it just, it picked me up and it just left the train station. Big smile on your face type of a trade, but you could definitely swing it. And I just trail stop, trail stop, trail stop until it stopped me out. And I was like, all right, cool. Thanks. Thank you, market. You know, Other times you're going to set up a trade. Everything's going to look picture perfect like it is. And you know what's going to happen? What could happen even in this trade, right? Any trade is susceptible to this. Doesn't matter if it's news, doesn't matter if it's just, buyers and sellers. What could happen is this just goes like this. Okay? And it's fine. That's trading, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm doing these setups, I'm doing these trades, but I get stopped out too. Any instructor that anybody that's presenting any trading to you that tells you that they're not getting stop outs are either like 2 cent scalpers or like 2 point scalpers on the ES or something, which even those get stopped out just a lot less, or they're just BSing you. Everybody, including big firms, get liquidated, get stopped out. That's nothing out of the ordinary. That's trading.
whether it's news, whether it's the masses, whether it's retail, like I said, retail traders pushing price up or down, whether it's big firms putting in a position and they're slowly getting the position to go their way. They're slowly getting in. They're averaging their dollar cost averaging on a position that they have a longer swing set up for. It could get ugly very quick, right? Yesterday I was actually in a gold trade. I was going short. Everything was looking great. The daily was down. The in between the 4 hour was also looking pretty weak. I got in on the 60 minute. I found the setup. I kid you not. As soon as I got in, it just went straight to my stop. It was as if the market was waiting for me to get in so it could stop me out, and that's gonna happen, and that's fine. That's how life is. That's how trading is. If you're not okay with that, don't trade. Save yourself the money. Put it in something safer, maybe like a 5% crypto passive earner, right? If you're not gonna be okay with the emotions of the market swinging up or swinging down, it's really not going to be, you can definitely be okay. You could listen to Reynaldo, who's one of our instructors at the Trade with UFOs team, who does trading psychology, and who's trained world-class athletes, and he's himself a world-class athlete and a trader. He'll tell you this, not just once or twice, but he'll get to the root cause of everything that's causing that anxiety when you're getting stopped out, or when a trade's just swinging up and down, up and down. So, yep, exactly right. It's part of business. All right, folks, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this session. I know I enjoyed presenting it to you, especially when we have a crowd that's a little bit more talkative. So again, thank you so much. We put on a crypto trade. We put on a couple of forex trades. We finished. We did what we said we set out to do. Email is right here, boyan@tradictive.com. And as I said, the website is tradewithufos.com/Bojan, which actually got cut out. All right. Thank you very much, folks. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of the day.